This is John Paul Ryan. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and I want to go over this thing right here about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and how they're getting really political. And it seems like Prince Harry has kind of made his way away from the royal family for this woman. That's kind of a different story because I want to focus on what they said in this video here. And what Harry said, I think, was a lot worse actually than what Meghan said. Meghan said some things that, I don't know, was she sincere? Maybe, probably not. But he said some things, meaning Harry, that I think outright attack free speech. And that's one of the worst things you could do. Anyway, let's take a look.
Now, we're just 6 weeks out from Election Day, and today is National Voter Registration Day. Every 4 years, we are told the same thing, that this is the most important election of our lifetime. But this one is. When we vote, our values are put into action and our voices are heard. Your voice is a reminder that you matter, because you do, and you deserve to be heard.
This election, I'm not going to be able to vote here in the US. But many of you may not know that I haven't been able to vote in the UK my entire life. As we approach this November, it's vital that we reject hate speech, misinformation, and online negativity.
So as we work to reimagine the world around us, let's challenge ourselves to build communities of compassion.
Tonight reminds us of how important it is to watch out for each other, to care for each other, and to inspire each other. We are incredibly proud to join you in this historic moment in time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, the worst thing he said was internet negativity. What the F is internet negativity? First of all, negativity is not bad. Negativity is basically a good thing. Negativity actually points out things that should be improved or things that are wrong with existing, let's say, movies, media, people, as long as it's not completely insultive and not related to the content. For example, if a star like Prince Harry says something that I disagree with, and I say, you know, you're an ugly carrot top, Harry, you're an idiot. Well, that's not good. Obviously, that's just negativity. I've got the right to say it, but that should be ignored. Now, if I give some excellent points as to why what Harry said is wrong, like, well, you know what, Harry? You know, internet negativity fits very well in with freedom of speech, which is one of the most important rights we could have, then that should be taken seriously and that should be heard. If I say, you know, the new Disney Star Wars movies were actually terrible because the plot went nowhere, the acting was flat, and there was, you know, some pretty disrespectful things to the original characters, that's an opinion, okay? It's negative, and it could be even more negative, but it's just an opinion. If I say something like, oh, Kelly Marie Tran is ugly, you know, she's the B word, well, yes, that's negativity and it should be ignored. But you can't just lump it all together and say no negativity. That's stupid and that's wrong. And Harry also mentions hate speech. Well, what the F is hate speech? Hate speech is, you know, like when you're actually threatening someone with violence and you're saying, I'm going to, you know, fill in the blank of something actually seriously threatening is hate speech. But hate speech isn't something like, you know, Harry, you've got a shitty suit on, you look like an idiot, you're a carrot top. Yeah, it's just, you know, insulting the guy. It's not right, it shouldn't be done, but it's not hate speech. Hate speech is what they said Alex Jones was doing. You know, he was putting out there some pretty silly things, some conspiracy theories, and he was maybe in some cases insulting the wrong people, but he wasn't actually doing anything wrong. He wasn't actually insulting anyone in a violent and threatening way to their health. So, you know, what's wrong with that? And, you know, if we go down the line of getting rid of internet negativity, quote unquote, and hate speech, quote unquote, then you might as well just take away your right to free speech. And you might as well just take these two off TV because, you know, why should they have the right to speak if I don't? Or if people don't have the right to, quote unquote, internet negativity. Harry also says misinformation. Well, what's misinformation? Who's putting out that misinformation and who are you against? It's an absolute nullified statement against nobody. It says nothing against nobody. Who on any side is going to moderate misinformation. I mean, that's what everybody does the best they can. I mean, we've got a lot of misinformation about certain political figures, but the misinformation is deliberate. So, what Harry should do is he should go to the mainstream media, knock right on their fucking door and be like, mainstream media, we got to do something about misinformation, because they are the biggest culprits in misinformation. But Harry's kind of like looking at like us, like the voters, like, well, you got to get rid of like information for the people on the other side. But no, you've got to get rid of misinformation from the big platforms, from the media, especially the mainstream. But Harry would never say that, because he's like probably kind of on their side. Anyway, these two are getting pretty crazy with the political stuff. I'm looking into them more and more as time goes on. I've just kind of got into it now. I guess I'm a little late to the game, been doing a lot of depth first heard, but it seems like these two are another odd couple that need to be debunked, criticized, and looked into. And I will have more to say on Meghan Markle, and it's not going to be pretty. I'm not going to hold punches. I mean, I don't care anymore. Basically, I'm at kind of a tipping point with all like the racial stuff, the name calling, this and that. So I'm going to get just straightforward, and I'm going to care just like a little bit less about who disagrees. Because, when I do depth first heard, I am 100% on Johnny's side, but I'd rather not like argue back and forth about points. I'd rather, rally up and prove one big point together. But, on this kind of thing, it doesn't matter who disagrees, because there's just certain things I think are pretty much factual. Anyway, I digress. I'm not getting into that right now. If you're new here, consider subscribing. If you subscribe, I won't lisp like that. I'll say it clearer next time, I guess. Consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, well, I'll be pretty happy about it. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. Move on. I'll read a book. I'll make a video. Something like that. See you next time.